Hi guys, it's Josh Lloyd here, ready to give you your DraftKings first look for Thursday. Before I do that, hit subscribe, hit the bell, join the notification gang, leave a comment down below as well. Let's get into it. There are 5 games on Thursday. At this point, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow, if games are going to get postponed or anything. But at this point, we have 5 games on. One of those is a game that is COVID affected. It's the Miami Heat and the Philadelphia 76ers. But the Sixers are likely to welcome back Shake Milton, Tobias Harris, Matisse Thybulle into that rotation. Still no Seth Curry. The Sixers are also listing Embiid and Simmons as probable, while Gabe Vincent is probable for Miami. Now, Vincent put up a big number last time out. The Heat are without Bam, Dragic, Butler. So we're going to get Precious Achiuwa starting again, and Precious is at 4,400. That's very, very hard to ignore. He had 40 points against this same opponent last time out. Nothing changes. I cannot see how he isn't a guy you lock in. Now, fading him in GPPs is understandable, but in a cash, you got to have him. Gabe Vincent's up to 4,200 because of his big performance. I think there is a little bit of a question about Gabe at that salary. He had 36 last game, which is obviously fantastic, but it was on some really good shooting and some high volume shooting. I'm not sure that he's quite there, but at 4,200, you can't make a mistake with that. 3,100 would be Max Strus, who is a little bit of another option there, but that's just more of a contrarian sort of guy. Kelly Olynyk, rock solid at 6,400. While for the Sixers, the guys that we've been relying upon, like Tyrese Maxey and Isaiah Joe, with everyone coming back, or nearly everyone coming back, harder to get excited about them. I still like Tyler Hero at 73, especially with no Jimmy Butler, but it might be a bit priced on the high side. Well, who is stopping Joel Embiid? The answer to that question is absolutely nobody. He had 40 or 82 DraftKings points. He had 45 real life points, 82 DraftKings points, and at 10,000, that is ridiculously good. I wouldn't want to use Harris or Milton or Simmons really at this point. There's just a lot of guys to squish back in, but Embiid is going to be fairly safe and he's going to absolutely crush this Heat team. The only worry you have is that with the Sixers being pretty much at full strength, is this game not pushing as far as last time, which was an overtime game, and that could limit the production of some of those big-name Philadelphia players. So that's one for us to watch there for sure. The next game, bit of an injury cloud in this one as well. That is the Charlotte Hornets and the Toronto Raptors. Gordon Hayward left Wednesday's game with a hip issue. He's listed as day-to-day. He is traveling with the team. If he is out, we'd be looking at Miles Bridges, who's priced at 4,700. Bridges is a little bit up and down usually, but if he gets an opportunity to start, a 26, 27-point performance shouldn't be outrageous. Chris Boucher at 6,500, he's just racking them up. He's averaging 42 over the last 3 on DraftKings, and that is absolutely fantastic. Well, Devontae Graham, for as shit as he is in terms of shooting, he's getting assists, he's getting steals, he's putting up really solid numbers. 39 in that game against the Knicks. Another strong game again today from him against the Mavericks. LaMelo Ball's at 7,600. He's been all right outside of today's action. And then you've got OG Anunoby at 58, who I'm not massively into. I am a little bit excited about Pascal Siakam. Things seem to be working in his favor. He's averaging 50 over the last 3. He's at 8,500. I do think that he is worth a look for us here in a matchup that the Raptors are favored by 7.5. And the total is 221.5 points. Next up, we've got the Rockets and the Spurs. Of course, Houston's going to be without James Harden. They won't have Victor Oladipo, I would imagine, in time for this game. So there is going to be some absolute... And they've got no John Wall as well. Forgot to mention that absolute doozy. So there's going to be some wild shit going on. Sterling Brown is a minimum salary player. Get him 20 fantasy points and you've already got value. Jayshawn Tate is at 3,300. Tatey's already a rotation guy and gets 17 to 20 points a game. And at 3,300, there's an opportunity for him. We're going to be smashing Eric Gordon if he plays because he's listed as questionable with lower leg tightness. But with no Wall, no Harden, he's going to handle pretty much every possession in terms of distribution and scoring. And he would be an absolute smash at 51 as well. While Christian Wood's going to get everything he can possibly handle. 7,700 for Wood. Usage is going to be up. Now, maybe it helps DeMarcus Cousins, but we just haven't seen Cousins and Wood play together. So if Cousins is going to be just nailed to the bench behind Wood, then it doesn't really impact him all that much. You're going to have extra minutes for guys like David Nwaba, who's not a good fantasy option. On the Spurs, the question mark is going to be over DeMar DeRozan. We've seen Lonnie Walker have some big games with DeRozan out, but if DeRozan plays, that limits Walker's value. He's up at 5,600. I'd only use Lonnie if DeMar DeRozan happens to be sidelined. I Ben McLemore's another one I should have talked about. 3,400 for the Rockets. He is probably going to start next to Eric Gordon, and that looks pretty good to me. Keldon Johnson's at 61. Don't mind it. Don't mind it at all. DeJounte at 75 is probably on the high side. And then you got guys like LaMarcus Aldridge, who at 6,700. Christian Wood, not a good defender. That is a really, really strong option for me to look at Aldridge at that sort of a cheap level price. The next game, it is the Portland Trailblazers and the Indiana Pacers, another team that's going to be limited due to the trades. No Oladipo for Indiana, and Karis LeVert won't be there. They do get TJ McConnell back. So do they start Edmund Sumner again, or do they go to the double Holiday lineup with McConnell handling the bench unit? Yusuf Nurkic is playing for the Blazers on Wednesday, so he should be right to go. He's down at 5,300 big use. Whew, that is a very, very good price. I'm in on that. While Timothy John McConnell at 5,000, sorry, not even 5,000, 3,000. That's the number I'm looking at. Minimum salary player. Get your 20 points maybe in an expanded role. I do like it. Miles Turner's at 6,600. He is just killing it. He's blocking everything that comes close. He's shooting at a really high level as well from 2-point range particularly. I like that. I like Brogdon for his usage at 8,300, I believe it is. 8,300 there for Brogo. And then Domantas Sabonis at 95. Really good numbers there. All these Pacers guys with the absence of Oladipo and the non-arrival of LeVert look pretty good. Lillard at 93 is not doing it for me. CJ at 84. Look, he's been awesome. We know that. I find it hard to get too committed, but I don't really mind him at that sort of salary. I think there is some level of value there in CJ McCollum at that price. Now, the Blazers are currently listed as 1.5 point favorites for this one, at a total of 229.5. So that's the tightest spread of the day, as well as the highest total of the day. So if you can find that value, which I think you can do with guys maybe like an Aaron Holiday, who's priced at 4,500, who dropped 43 last game, there is some real upside there. Plus that low price on Nurkic, the value in Turner, and the value in Malcolm Brogdon. It looks pretty nice to me. The next game and the last game is the Golden State Warriors and the Denver Nuggets. Eric Pascal is back after his one-game COVID absence, so he is going to come in and fill that backup center role, which is going to have an impact on what James Wiseman does. While Denver was without Gary Harris last game, and without Harris, we saw Monty Morris and Will Barton really step it up. We don't know the status of Harris at this point, but that's worth monitoring. Nikola Jokic is at $11,000. Yeah, I think he's pretty good. Now, the Warriors' defense has been awesome this season, and Draymond Green has been a problem in the past for Jokic. I think at $11,000, with so many really high-profile, high-priced guys on the slate, I'd rather probably take Embiid at 10, but 11 for Jokic is good. I think Barton at 58 is a good one if Gaz Harris is out, while the headmaster, Jamal Murray at 6,900. Yeah, look, that price could not be more appropriate, but I also think that it's only for tournaments rather than anything exciting upside-wise. Monty Morris at 4,100. I think there's some good floor value, and there's good upside if Gary Harris is sidelined, but I'm not interested in Millsap. I'm not interested in JaMychal Green. I'm not even interested really in Gary Harris. Kelly Oubre did get something happening last game, which is awesome considering how bad he's been. He's at 5,300. He dropped 31 last time out. I think he does have some GPP upside here. Well, Steph's at 9,700. Now, Steph's last couple of games haven't been in the great area. 44 average over the last three. They've really been trying to take him out, but I'm not sure the Nuggets have the defensive personnel to do that. So Steph is at least a GPP guy. Well, how about Andy Wiggins? Putting up the defensive stats, he's at 6,800. He had 5 blocks last game, which resulted in 46 DraftKings points. We go at 6,800 does actually get me rather interested. I wouldn't say that he's a lock for cash or even a lock for tournaments, but I do like using Andy Wiggins here. I probably would fade off of guys like James Wiseman. I just think the upside for him at this point is pretty low. That'll do it for me today. Don't forget, though, you hit subscribe, hit that little button down below, hit the bell down below, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. Tell me how you're going. Tell me how you're enjoying these shows. And also, what do you think of the James Harden trade? Of course, that's going to have an impact on DFS over the next couple of days and even more into the future as those new players get settled on their teams. Great to have that sort of news drop in such a massive way this morning. Subscribe, hit the bell, give it a comment, leave a thumbs up. Guys, we are done here. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. See ya.